Hi everyone, I'm Ben.
And I'm Mike, and we write songs together under the name The Kelly Line.
By the way, Mike's my dad.
Which of course makes us a father-son songwriting duo. And when we're not writing songs together, we're generally chatting about writing songs. And we thought it might be fun to share some of those thoughts with you.
This week we're talking about the Kelly Line spectrum, from acoustic right the way through to full band, and how that sound has evolved over time.
Do you know, you gave me some notes there to the introduction, what I say and what you say, and you've actually written, we thought it might be fun to share some of those thoughts with you.
I thought you might mention that, so I think it's equally appropriate for me to mention the fact that you were the one who wrote these.
Oh,
this was copied from an email you sent me.
Right.
Checkmate.
Okay, checkmate indeed. And so,
yeah.
the Kelly Line spectrum. Do you remember the original guy and guitar phrase?
Yeah, it kind of it's less appropriate as time goes on, especially seeing as like recently I want to write a punk song, like a proper punk song, none of this folk stuff. I do remember that original phrase. It still kind of informs like how we write songs, in that we very rarely write big melodic guitar solos or musical parts that aren't kind of appropriate to just be played on an acoustic guitar, if you get me.
Yeah, no, sure, I agree. I agree with that. But that original idea of what the two of us could do in terms of writing it, and then obviously you performing it like from scratch, and nobody else involved. Do you remember those really early days, really early songs?
Yeah, I do. Our sound ranged from slow acoustic to faster acoustic.
That was it.
Slow acoustic. Cheats and fools, it always helps to make the rules. Like Groundhog Day slow, or like do you run with the hare or the hounds? Are you in for a penny? Are you in for a pound? I hope my hesitation showed how long it's been since I've tried to play that song.
You forgot the words there.
I did. I was like But yeah, that's basically what we range from, is like slower acoustic to swaying backwards and forwards with a pint of ale in your hand.
And then we kind of I hope that's not ale, by the way. By the way, I like your hair. It's
Thank you very much.
I think of you as coloured hair. As a guy with colour. You know, mum's kids call you blue haired Ben, so they're going to get really confused now they see it's pink. Yeah,
and seeing as the next podcast we release is going to have me with brown, slightly shorter hair, that's going to be...
Is it?
Well, yeah, because we have...
Oh yeah. If we record
previously.
them in a different order, people are going to get very, very confused with the colour of your hair. It's quite entertaining. It's quite entertaining, isn't it?
Yeah, it's entertaining for me anyway. But yeah, so we started with just acoustic guitar and vocals. Pretty quickly, we started adding other stuff though, in terms of not in a very subtle or artful way. We were kind of like, I reckon that this song just needs a second instrument to fill in the instrumental gaps. Rather than writing interesting instrumentals, we just were like, okay, so the instrumental is a verse. What can we do to make this interesting? The answer was frequently, is Leo free to play the harmonica?
Firstly, to be fair, Leo is a brilliant harmonica player.
Yeah, and an excellent artist. Check out the artwork to like over half of our stuff.
And he's an all-round good guy. How long have you known Leo? Years, isn't it?
Since I was 4.
So you genuinely grew up together, didn't you? And you can tell that actually when you see you and Leo on stage. I remember him giving you a great big slapper on the kisser on the mouth. He didn't he? I think that might have been Groundhog Day actually. And at the end of it, he just gave you a great big kiss and walked off. And your face,
have been Robin Hood?
It could have been, but your face was. I remember your face was an absolute picture, because you certainly weren't expecting the kiss on stage.
I was not expecting it. No. Yeah, but Robin Hood was, speaking of Robin Hood, which might have been the song Leo kissed me on, that's a good example of just filling in the gaps with a different instrument.
And to be fair, really good at filling in the gaps. Yeah. I mean, he's a terrific harmonica, and I like harmonica, and it kind of suited the sound at the time, didn't it? Sort of folky, guitar-y, harmonica-y. It very much worked.
Yeah, I'm not saying that we did bad instrumentals. I'm saying they weren't very artful in terms of their compositional style. It's not like we went like, okay, what can we do here instrumentally? We literally frequently just said there should be an instrumental here.
Yeah.
And then what is the instrumental? Oh, it's the verse, obviously.
Yeah.
Just get him to play over the top of that.
I think we gradually began to realise you had so much more scope with additional musicians, and for me, one of the really good examples is Stop Digging, which without Leo's harmonica on Stop Digging, I know we wrote it, but I'm not sure I'm a big fan of that song. But I am a big fan of Leo's harmonica. The two versions are so different for me.
Fair enough. I think I've got a cunning editing plan here. I'm going to play the intro, like the first chorus bit with acoustic guitar, and then it's going to segue seamlessly into Leo's harmonica solo,
Go on then.
which I'm very excited about if this works editing-wise. If it doesn't, forgive me. You say I gotta stop digging, it's a slippery slope. You say I gotta stop listening, say I will but I won't. You say I gotta stop digging, it's a slippery slope. You ask me what I was thinking, you know I can't and don't. I'm still not sure about the song, but I absolutely love Leo's harmonica bit in that song. Side note on that song, I think it was the first time I ever used a diminished chord in a song, which is a very Kelly Line thing. I like diminished chords.
It is now. It wasn't at the beginning though, was it?
No, it wasn't. It was a surprise thing. I remember there was pushback from Jack and Connor. Speaking of that, I feel we should probably mention, if we're talking about the spectrum and the kind of transition from purely acoustic-y, folky stuff through to full band, we should probably mention like the gathering of the band at uni.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely.
In terms of, I remember we were sitting up late at night, as we are wont to do, with a beer or 7, and you were like asking me what's your kind of dream live setup.
I remember
with the band. Yeah, and I mentioned I already play at uni stuff with Yestin on drums, and he can sing, so that's really good. And then Connor's like a really good electric guitarist, so we'll play with him. Jack's a fantastic bassist. I think that would work really well as like a. I kind of envisioned us sounding a bit like the Front Bottoms.
Yeah,
an excellent band. And then it luckily kind of happened, which was
it's fantastic. So you go from you singing Hare and Hounds to like you and Leo. And mentioned actually Ruben accordion, but similar kind of song.
It was like me plus something else.
Yeah.
Not me as part of a unit that was pretty stable. It was like, what cherry can we put on top of this?
Definitely.
Rather than making the actual cake.
And all of a sudden, it's a completely different sound now. And I know. Do you know you mentioned Robin Hood, and we mentioned Hare and Hounds. One of the really early songs we wrote was Hamsters Wheel. And you sang that. Go on then, give us a blast then if you were. You obviously wanted to.
No, I was playing a big nice chord to kind of Hare and Hounds, not Hare and Hounds, Hamsters Wheel.
Because you can't actually talk without holding a guitar and strumming it occasionally.
Well, yeah, fair. Hamsters Wheel. So that originally sounded kind of like. Comes and what do you know? £200 for passing go. It was kind of bouncy. When we originally wrote it, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And then all of a sudden you end up with Jack, and then Connor doing his thing on the electric guitar, and Yestin drum. How the heck you can drum that quickly? I do not know.
I remember the first time I showed him the drum part, because it's like boom bap boom bap boom bap boom bap. But obviously much faster than that. He played it for like 4 beats and then just kind of looked like, as if he was like, damn, this is harder than I thought it would be. Give me a couple of minutes. It took him like a few weeks to get to like full speed stamina, but so far we haven't had a drummer like fill in that's been able to do it straight away. Oh, because it's just straight boom bam boom boom bam boom boom boom. It's really quite a stamina test.
God love him.
his
He
Hamsters
looks
Wheel.
absolutely knackered after he's played that. To be fair, you all.
He looks knackered.
I was going to say you all look. I mean, and presumably now you're going to be able to do something really clever technically, are you? And drop in the sound of the guys playing Hamsters Wheel.
Yeah. Now you can see how fast it is compared to what I was doing just then with the because it is much faster. So technical magic in 3, 2, 1.
Payday comes and what do you know? £200 for pass and go. Promise more but don't say when. Enough to send you round again. I'm living like...
Can I say I'm being really selfish now? Everybody goes, oh, that's great drumming and that's great guitar playing and that's great singing, and you do your kind of you scream in the middle of it. Can I just say
that on the podcast?
How long it took for me to do the research into that song? Because I knew that the analogy was a Monopoly board going round and round and round, Hamsters Wheel, and I had to find, you've got like Park Lane and Old Kent Road and all that, and I had to find properties that fit the lyrics, but also was exactly the right prices and all that kind. It took forever and a day to get the research done.
I remember you were very proud.
Oh,
you mentioned it.
I'm so proud of the research. Yeah, worked hard on that. Anyway, cool. So where do we go next?
Well, after that, so we'd had acoustic plus something else, and then we had like Hamsters Wheel and Stop Digging were kind of songs written in the same way that we'd always written them, but thinking from the start about them being a bit rockier. Then we started moving on to songs. I reckon this is my personal view of it. We started moving on to songs where we were writing for the band.
Definitely.
We didn't have a kind of different band in our heads, and we were writing for them. We were writing for the band that we had, because there's stuff that we wrote that we just wouldn't have done if we were writing like how we used to with just acoustic guitar in mind. Because, for example, all the wrong things. I don't think I would have riffed on an acoustic guitar if I hadn't known that there would be everyone else to back me up and known what kind of sounds we all went for. That wouldn't have sounded. I wouldn't have thought of doing that just on acoustic guitar ever, really. But knowing that there'd be drums and bass to back it up, like there is in this clip.
You think you know way I'll resist.
Is that another one of those clever technical things that you've just done?
Yes, it is.
And did I pause? Was my pause okay?
You did.
Ah, fantastic. I'm really pleased.
Cool. Yeah, without knowing there'd been everyone else to back me up on that, I probably wouldn't have tried it. In fact, I nearly didn't try it, as we talk about in
But in terms
previous episode.
In terms of the writing, though, I think what you've just said is we were writing for an acoustic performance, and then we wrote we just wrote a song that was going to be performed acoustically, but also, oh guys, can we play this as a band? Now we're writing for a band.
Yeah, but we're not just writing for a band. We took that in another way as well. Just a sidebar is that we took songs, and then we kind of wrote around them. Like, we never really wrote instrumentals. As I said, we just wrote verses that didn't have any singing on them. But stuff like the recording of Goldfish that we did with all of the cellos and stuff, it was kind of designed from the start that during that instrumental stuff would be happening. That. Adding that,
paused.
Yeah, we're back. So yeah, adding the cellos and stuff, writing not for acoustic guitar as such, but writing for an imaginary ensemble is something that we did as well, which we kind of definitely did the band stuff first.
Yeah.
And that's still the route we head down more often, is writing for the band we have, but we also kind of think about stuff more instrumentally than we previously did.
And in terms of performing, we're still performing across that spectrum, so you still do acoustic sets, solo acoustic sets, right the way through to band sets. And some of those songs, like bit like a Venn diagram, isn't it? Some of those songs are very much like the acoustic songs, acoustic set, and some of them are very much band songs. And then some of them do.
I can't really imagine performing like Tuesday in like a full band setting. It would still sound kind of folky, regardless of what you did to it. But there are some that really work both ways, or there are multiple ways of doing them.
Wrong Things is an example of a song. I think that I really like it when you sing it acoustically. Obviously, it works really well as a band song. Cowboy Song is another one.
Yeah, we got that kind of. It works quite nicely. I like it.
Yeah, you also do a really good version of Goldfish, in my view, as a band.
Yeah, I remember you've been surprised about that.
Yeah, because I'm so used to it, the acoustic version with the cellos. When you said, "Oh, we're playing it as a band," I was thinking, "Are you?" But it does actually work. So there's loads of examples. I think of. I really enjoy the band version, but I also enjoy you singing it acoustically. So we normally play out these podcasts with a song. So any thoughts?
I reckon All the Wrong Things is a pretty good one to do it with.
Oh, I'm more than happy with that. So, well, thanks for listening, everyone, and we'll catch you again. We'll catch you again soon, I've no doubt. And we're going to play out with All the Wrong Things.
You think you know way I'll resist. You're not the only girl I've kissed, and I think that you will find that I'm really not that kind. Forbidden fruits wait to be tasted. All those nights I've ever wasted. I'm doing all the wrong things for all the wrong reasons. I've got no firm allegiance, so just in case I'm gonna get my retaliation in first. You get no apology. This is how it's gonna be. 'Cause I can read between the lines. I can see the telltale signs. Forbidden fruits wait to be tasted. All those nights I've ever wasted. I'm doing all the wrong things for all the wrong reasons. I've got no firm allegiance, so just in case I am gonna get my retaliation in first. So just in case, I am gonna get my retaliation